The River of Whispering Stars. The moon hung like a silver pendant over the savannah as Zola slipped away from the sleeping village. The air was cool and smelled of wild jasmine and damp earth. She carried nothing but her courage and a small clay bowl, following the narrow path that led toward the sacred waters. Her heartbeat matched the steady rhythm of the crickets, guiding her toward the secrets of the night. At the edge of the great river, the water was as smooth as a dark mirror. This was the place her grandmother had spoken of in hushed tones, the place where the veil between the now and the before grew thin. Zola stood on the sandy bank, watching the reflection of the stars dance on the surface. She felt a deep, ancient pull, as if the river were breathing in time with her. Zola knelt and dipped her bowl into the water. As the ripples spread, a soft, sapphire light began to pulse from the depths. It wasn't the reflection of the moon, but a glow that came from within the current itself. She gasped as the water began to swirl into luminous patterns, forming shapes that moved with grace and purpose. From the center of the glow, a figure began to rise. It was a Bibi, a spirit of light who shimmered like a constellation caught in a mist. She did not walk on the ground but drifted above the surface, her form composed of swirling white smoke and brilliant blue embers. She looked upon the world with eyes that had seen the birth of the forest. A Bibi drifted closer, her presence bringing a warmth that defied the night chill. She reached out a hand made of starlight and touched Zola's shoulder. The girl did not flinch. Instead, she felt a surge of belonging, as if 1,000 years of family history were being whispered into her heart all at once. "You are the fruit of a deep-rooted tree," the spirit seemed to hum. Beside a baby, another light began to take shape. This was a tall, regal spirit named Muna, who carried a staff that flickered like a dying coal. He moved with the slow, steady gait of a mountain. As he emerged from the river, the water lilies around him began to bloom in the middle of the night, their petals turning a vivid, supernatural white. Muna leaned toward Zola, and with his staff, he drew a symbol in the sand at her feet. It was the mark of the traveler. He was reminding her that while she belonged to her ancestors, her path was her own to forge. Zola reached down to touch the glowing lines in the sand, feeling the heat of the earth rising to meet her fingertips. The two spirits, a baby and Muna, turned to one another and joined hands. Their light merged, creating a bridge of brilliance that stretched across the entire width of the river. In that moment, the air was filled with a wordless song, a melody of spinning wheels, falling rain, and the laughter of children from ages long past. As the first hint of violet appeared in the eastern sky, the spirits began to dissolve back into the mist. A baby blew a final kiss of light toward Zola, which settled into the clay bowl the girl held. One by one, the glowing figures sank beneath the ripples, leaving the river dark and quiet once more, though the water now felt charged with a lingering magic. Zola walked back to the village as the sun began to peek over the horizon. She felt taller, her footsteps lighter on the dusty path. She knew now that she was never truly alone. The river flowed through her veins, and the stars watched over her through the eyes of those who came before. The sacred night had ended, but its light stayed with her.